Hey guys, welcome back to the Finished Podcast. We have special guest today, Jinh Frey, on the show, and new Invicta Atomweight champ. How's it feel?
It feels great. I've been thinking about this moment for, I don't know, 2.5 years, and it's finally here. So it's a little surreal, but it feels incredible.
Is it everything you hoped for? Is it kind of like you've definitely reached a top of the portion of your career. So I mean, I guess explain it like you said. You've thought about this for so long. I mean, is it everything you dreamed for?
It is, but I also know that it's kind of just the beginning. It's hard to get to the top, but it's harder to stay there.
I agree 1,000%. So, I, your game plan, okay, from Saturday, did your game plan go according to how you guys, practice? Did everything fall into place? How did that go?
I would say I kind of had a slow start. It took me a minute to really start listening to my corner and doing what I was supposed to be doing. Um, she was a lot stronger than what I thought she was going to be,
Hmm.
and like I didn't like she was really strong against the cage, and so that kind of took me by surprise. But it took me a minute to figure out what I was going to do and start working my way out of it. Um, we were also like really wanting to cut her off to the right,
Hmm.
but she was actually being very good about beating me there
Mm-hmm.
and keeping her foot to the outside and keeping me from cutting her off from that angle. So then, we just kind of had to adjust, and I started moving left instead of right. But, originally we were wanting just to keep cutting to the right.
Where were you when you got the call for the title fight?
Um, my life's pretty boring, so I was probably just sitting at home on my couch.
It's all,
I can't remember the exact moment, but
yeah.
I imagine I was doing anything spectacular.
So I heard you're an avid video game fan. Is that true? Is that information correct?
It is. It is.
What are you playing?
Right now I'm playing Dark Souls 3.
That's too
I'm
hard
kind of
for me. I can't.
I like those hard games. I like the Souls games. I'm pretty close to platinum, so I'm working on that,
Mm.
grinding out, the last couple of trophies.
PlayStation, Xbox. What are you playing on?
PlayStation 4.
Okay, PlayStation. Yeah, I'm into the more of the simple stuff, the shooters. Um, I'm into like Overwatch and maybe a little bit of
Yeah, I tried that,
Fortnite.
and that was hard. There was like a lot going on. There was like, oh, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be like building stuff and moving, like going through your inventory, finding what I was like. There was kind of a lot going on.
It's amazing. I felt really when I first started getting into the game, I felt really stupid because you have all these 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds on the game, and their attention span and their I guess they're it's kind of complex to me, but they're in there just doing their thing, and I felt really just I felt like that, and so I don't play Fortnite as much as I'd like to because it makes me feel less of a person, I guess.
And it's hard because there's really no practice. You don't have like a practice mode to like get
Correct.
used to controls or get comfortable. It's like you just get thrown in there, and then in 10 seconds you're dead, and then you're like, well, there was that to go around. So
Yeah, and then the rage mode hits, and
and you're like a 15-year-old kid just did that to me.
yes, yes, agreed. So obviously too, you've done it at least a couple times that I'm aware of. I don't know if you've done it more. You've done the cosplay thing. You did the Chun Li thing. You did the Wonder Woman thing, which, by the way, looked fucking awesome. The Wonder Woman outfit. So, is that something you think you're gonna start incorporating more? Is it something you're having fun with, or?
I've tried to do it every weigh in, but yeah, I mean, it is something kind of fun. It kind of changes up or breaks up the monotony. I'm sure it's fun for the photographers on media day because
Yeah,
it's like, how lame does it get shooting 18, 20 people in the same exact poses like
yeah,
all day long?
yeah.
So it makes it fun for them. It makes it fun for me. The fans enjoy it, and it's just something different. And it shows a little bit of my personality, and gives me a chance to kind of be a little different.
Are you into like comic books and that whole world?
Growing up, I was,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not so much now. Um, I've actually never been to a Comic Con, but I definitely would, and I
Yeah.
have a great costume. So
Yeah, the outfit, it definitely doesn't look like your average outfit that I'd go to buy down the street for. Well, I wouldn't buy it, but I'm just saying somebody would buy it for 10, $15. That looked like a real deal. Was that like leather? I mean, it looked like a real deal
yeah,
outfit.
so I that was kind of um probably like the highest end costume that I've done so far.
Yeah.
Like normally I just kind of buy like your run of the mill costume, maybe off Amazon or whatever. And I actually
Right.
did originally, but when it came in, I was like, oh God, this looks terrible. And my husband's like, you know what? You should just bite the bullet, spend a little money, and get like a really good costume. And so I ended up getting on eBay and finding some pretty spectacular costumes, and spent a little more than what I wanted, but it's a great costume, and now I'm available for like kid birthday parties and stuff.
The picture where you're in the outfit and you're holding up the belt, did you shoot that before you actually won it, or did you do that afterwards?
That was before, like during media day. If
Mm-hmm.
if you're in a title fight, they do like just a ton of photos with you in the belt.
Sure.
So it kind of sucks, because last time I did that with Ayaka, and so it felt good to hold the belt and all that sort of thing, and then I didn't get the belt. So this time, I made it happen.
Yeah, so I actually wore this shirt especially for this interview. I don't know if it's an X-Men shirt. I don't know if you could see this.
Oh, I see it. I see the logo.
I did that especially for this. So, but so it's not strange. Now, obviously, the UFC doesn't have an atomweight division right now, but the strawweight division possibly. It's not strange to see the Invicta champions kind of get called up. Is there? What are your thoughts on that? If you get a phone call tomorrow, saying, "Hey, we want you up here," what are your thoughts on all that?
We've kicked around the idea before just because it's, such a long and hard weight cut.
Yeah,
Um, it's like, how much better would I be if I didn't have to do all that?
yeah,
And you see a couple of the girls having, great success not cutting a ton of weight, like Tisha Torres.
right,
I think Rama Yunus is pretty small as
right,
well.
right.
So it can be done. So, it's an idea that we've kind of kicked around. The one thing though was that being so close to winning a world title, I wanted to get that done at 105 first. And
Okay.
then, I was like, after that, we can explore other options. We can talk about different things, but I'm so close. I'm not going to bail on 105 now,
Right.
you know, because I'm too close. I can almost touch it.
Yeah.
So,
Is there anybody you think you match up really well with up there in the
uh,
strawweight division?
um, I'd have to sit down and give it some thought, because it's not ever really something that I considered just because I was so focused
Sure.
on
Sure.
105
Sure.
that I didn't even just
Sure.
like play with it in my head.
Sure. So is it vacation time after the fight, or is it kind of right back to training, right back to the grind? Is it, time to eat a little bit of ice cream and cake, while we enjoy the splendors of our win, or how does that?
Well, I had some ice cream and cake, and
There
I
you
almost
go.
went into a diabetic coma, I think. Um, we usually try to take a trip right after my fights, but now my husband's like the head coach, and we still have like a couple of people with fights coming up. So,
Hmm.
now unfortunately it's not a good time for us to, just pick up and leave for, a week or two to travel. So I'll probably just go back to the gym.
Yeah, so I've talked to Sam Alvey about this. It's just a curious question because him and his wife helps train him. And you and your husband are kind of the I guess the opposite gender role reversed. Is you're the fighter, he's the coach kind of thing. And gosh, if my wife's watching, I love you, honey, but we can barely make breakfast together in the same kitchen. How do you guys, because I'm sure you guys are in close knit quarters,
All
probably,
the
yeah, all the time. How do you grapple with that?
um, for the most part, it works really well. Um, Honestly, a lot of the time, I'm just too exhausted to put up much of a fight. Like
Yeah.
we're both pretty mellow though.
Okay.
We're both pretty easygoing. Neither one of us is really that high strung. I will say sometimes it gets hard, like especially towards the end of camp when I'm kind of edgy, I'm tired, I'm hungry, and sometimes I have a difficult time. Um, differentiating between my husband and my husband, the coach. So
Sure.
like, when he's trying to coach me, maybe I take it personally and I'm like, don't talk to me like that.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
and that sort of thing. Or, when we're at home, I'm like, stop telling me what to do. We're not at the gym.
So I guess what's your 2-year plan, your 1-year plan, your 2-year plan from here? Where do you go from here?
I don't know. Shannon did say that they were pretty sure they had somebody in mind for defense. I know that the 115 title is going to be the next fight card, and then I'm sure that they're going to want to recrown a 25 and a 45 champion now, and then they've got to let Sarah Kaufman defend her title. So,
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be too long before I get cycled back in there. But, I'm going to take a little time and take it easy, enjoy myself, enjoy the fruits of my labor. It's been a long road to get here, and take a minute to breathe.
Hey, you know what? And I think there's nothing wrong with that, and you've definitely deserved it, right? I think you definitely deserved it. So, on that note, I don't want to take up too much of your time. That was great. Like I said, enjoy your success. Eat as much ice cream as you want for the next. Eat some for me, because I've been on this carnivore diet for the past 2 weeks, and I'm telling you, I don't feel great at all. It's terrible.
Really, my husband loved it. He did it for like 4 or 5 weeks,
Oh my
and
God.
it worked really well for him. And even though he doesn't stick to it like strictly, because he likes avocados, he likes
Yeah.
blueberries. Like,
Yeah.
I would say it's still like 70 to 80% of his diet is meat. Like he sticks pretty strongly with it.
Yeah, my diet for the past, I'd say, 2 weeks has been nothing but butter, beef, and chicken. So it's just, well, I throw some nuts in there too, because I have to eat something with the meat, so I do kind of throw in a couple of vegetables. I know technically if you're on it's not really a carnivore diet if you're eating the vegetables, but I feel like I have to throw something in there just for my taste buds' sake. Yeah, just for that. But
and it gets expensive. Like, cause,
yes.
when you're eating a ribeye like every single day, it's
I
pricey.
usually kind of I usually downgrade a little bit. I'm usually eating like burgers and stuff like that, just with without the buns, just throwing I tell you what I eat a lot for breakfast is just burgers, maybe a couple burgers, some cheese, and I throw a couple eggs on top. And usually that'll kind of fill you up for a few hours, because with no carbs, nothing really stays with you. But anyways, anything you want to promote or anything you want to shout out before you go?
There are 3 companies, Cruise Combat, On It, and Victor Beef, that have had my back for a long time, and have stood by me. And so just want to thank them for all their support.
Awesome. Well, that's all I got, Jen. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time. And like I said, good luck with your defenses.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Send me a message. I'm going to screw up your like long walks on the beach. I don't know. You never know. And please, for you audiophiles out there, we're on iTunes, we're on Google Play. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe to us. Helps out a ton.